on 2/22/2022 at 6 p.m. So it's time to call a city council meeting to order. Ms. Rhodes, roll call, please.
Yes, Mr. Austin.
Present.
Mr. Hukin.
Here.
Ms. Jones.
Present.
Ms. McGinnis.
Here.
Ms. Nally. Mr. Prime.
Here.
Mr. Taylor.
Here.
Sir, you have a quorum.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Hukin, I'm going to put you on the spot. Would you lead us in prayer and pledge, please?
Yes, let us rise. I guess we can rise and do this. Be in a prayerful position, I guess. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the day, and we thank you for the change of seasons. We appreciate the ability to come before you this evening to discuss the city's business. May you give us wisdom and help us make these decisions that are most beneficial to our residents and to our city as a whole. We ask you to watch after our first responders, after those who support us in other matters such as legal, etc. And these things we ask in your son's name. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Hukin.
Thank you, Bob. I just looked up and Mr. Brian Reese wasn't here tonight.
It's probably better, that way we just don't have to think about it.
All right, thank you for coming again. Is there any announcements,
Someone paid praying for lawyers.
presentations,
Who does
or
that?
public comments that are not on the agenda? Hearing none, we will go to the consent agenda.
Mayor, I move to approve the consent agenda. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, we will go on to the old business.
Move to read old business by title only.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to read by title only. All those in favor signifying by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, hearing none, we will go to item number 1, Common Council Budgetary Ordinance Number 22-01, an additional appropriation Altair 5X gas detector grants, 2404 supplies, 2404-001, 200, in the amount of $1,756.80. Fire Chief Matt Cole.
Yes, sir. This is a grant that we received to buy a gas detector. The city has already received the check, and I am just asking it to now be put into our budget so that we can purchase what it was designed for.
Okay, and it is we do have a public hearing, so at this time, I think I'll go ahead and ask, is there anybody in the audience that has a question for Matt or want to make a comment? Hearing none, public hearing's closed.
Mayor, I make a motion to approve Common Council Budgetary Ordinance Number 22-01. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, item number 2, Common Council Budgetary Ordinance Number 22-02, an additional appropriation, Johnson County REMC grant, 2412 supplies, 2412-001, 200. Fire Chief Matt Cole.
Sir, it's the same thing, and this is right around just under $5,000. I don't know why the amount isn't listed on there today, so the city already has the check, cashed it, and I just need it appropriated, and both these items will go on the new fire engine when it comes in, and as I said, I try to keep the cost as low as possible, so that's what we're doing.
Thank you, Chief, and we will also, this is open for public hearing, so we will open it up for public hearing at this time. Seeing or hearing none, we will close the public hearing. Thank you, Matt, for going after the grants. I appreciate it.
Move to approve ordinance 22-02.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. I think Bob Hukin was louder than Lisa, so he gets the second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, hearing none, we will go to item number 3, Common Council Budgetary Ordinance Number 22-03, an additional appropriation, General Fund 1101, Capital 1101, 005 400. Mayor Barnett, and as I stated last week, this is funds out of special lit, local income tax distribution that we probably won't see for another 4 or 5 years, which was $1,330,000, and the remaining out of the 2021 general fund appropriations in the amount of $1,287,915 for a total of $2,617,911. And I do want to clarify one thing. Mr. Austin asked me the last meeting, when I gave the project list that is there for 2022, Mr. Austin asked me if some of this stuff is covered in our regular budget, and it is. So I made a wrong comment when I said it wasn't, but some of this is covered in our budget. We have about $600,000 in our Board of Works budget, and the street department has about $500,000 in their budget. And again, I just want to say that all these projects on this list, I can tell you that they're probably not going to all get done, but they're still projects that we want to do. So what doesn't get done, we'll do the same thing and rake it over into the 2023 budget. That's the plan that we have. Anyway, that's our thoughts. So if this is open for public hearing, so at this time, I will open this up for a public hearing if anyone wishes to ask any questions, or hearing none or seeing none. Any questions from the council? Not, I think we're ready.
Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. And keep the list handy, and you can mark them off with us as we go. So, thank you. Okay, item number 4, Common Council Budgetary Ordinance number 22-04, authorizing an additional appropriation for the non-tax supported funds. Clerk Treasurer Jane Rhodes.
Thank you, sir. As I said last, meeting, these are mainly the donation funds that the city has, and every year we have to reappropriate them.
And this is also for public hearing. So at this time, it's open for public hearing if anyone has any questions for Jane. Hearing none, we will close the public hearing.
Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve Common Council Budgetary Ordinance number 22-04.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, we will go on to next item, 5, Common Council Budgetary Ordinance number 22-05, authorizing the creation of an American Rescue Plan Act plan and appropriating monies for the City of Franklin ARP Coronavirus Local Fiscal Recovery Fund. City Attorney Lynn Gray.
Thank you, Mayor. As you recall from the introduction last week, the city of Franklin received $5,781,583.10 from the American Rescue Plan Act. And at this point in time, the city has received 1/2 of that money, as well as interest earned on it of $665.69. As part of the requirements of receipt of ARPA funds, you are required as the fiscal body of the unit to develop a plan for expending those monies, and that's what this draft is a draft of that plan. When the Federal Treasury first came out with guidance, they were very specific on what kinds of things money can be used for, and how it could be used. One of the things that was clearly identified was sewer projects or water projects. Other projects that were clearly identified are actions that are taken in response to COVID mitigation requirements. So this plan calls for use of these funds, first as a sewer department plant, second for the fire department, although I think we're going to do the fire department first because it's least expensive of all of them, and then third, if there is money left over for the active adult center, that money. And so that's what this plan does. It is a document that can be amended by council. I will tell you as a practical matter, not to inundate you with too much information, but I think as elected officials, sometimes you'll read articles that Leanne's kind enough to put in the newspaper about what other entities are doing, or perhaps you'll have your constituents asking about it. And there's always new guidance that will come out. And one of those new guidance is that a entity could elect to take it as a revenue loss. I reached out to our council and said, do you still believe we should continue along our path? And the email specifically that was sent to me said, yes, we feel much more comfortable. I think here's the answer. Yes, my response is for any projects done under lost revenue government services, there are streamlined reporting requirements. However, our general advice has been that any projects that are clearly eligible under another category, like yours, should be done under that category unless and until Treasury clarifies otherwise. This is the least risky option to make sure you are complying with all Treasury regulations in terms of reporting. When it comes to close to $6 million, I think least risky is probably the better way to go. So this plan defines what types of projects we will use this money for when we get it. With that, I'll answer any questions, and certainly it's here for a public meeting.
So at this time, I think before the council asks questions, or you ask questions at the same time, but we'll open this up for a public hearing if anyone has any questions for Lynn. Fire chief is smiling, he can't wait to get started, so.
I'm not building anything.
Okay, I'll close the public hearing. So now council have any questions for Lynn?
I don't have a question. I'll just echo what Lynn said. I thought the Journal did a good job of covering that in the paper.
Yeah.
Very informative.
And it is a changing, a lot of people are now, like, for instance, the county is doing some of theirs as lost revenue, freeze the money up a little bit, but you just don't, every month they come out with new guidance, and these projects that we've identified are clearly within.
Conference will automatically end in 5 minutes.
These projects clearly have been defined as appropriate uses of the money, so I have no concern that we will have any auditing problems as a result. And they're projects we needed to do anyway,
And
so.
yeah, they're projects that we actually identified we were gonna do if we
Yes,
didn't get the funds.
that's
So
correct.
this really helps our city, so.
Yeah, I'm excited about Station 21. You know, that's been a problem for a while. It's our heaviest used facility, and it needs help. Obviously, wastewater treatment plant, that $3 million is gonna help as well. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, and it will really improve all of the money that has been spent on the infrastructure out in the community. It has, I mean, we're ready to go.
Yep.
And with this
Yep.
screening facility, it will
Yep.
just make the plant so much more efficient. I think save money in the long run, as Mayor and Sally have talked about many times. So it's a wise use of money.
It will save money out of their yearly budget from repairs, from those $50,000 hits at a time.
Correct.
For valves and stuff. So,
Need a motion? Move for approval of 2205.
Second.
okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, hearing none, thank you. We'll go on to new business.
Move to read new business by title only.
Second.
All those in favor to read by title only?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 1, under new business, request approval of yearly tax abatement compliance reports. Community Development Specialist Dana Monson.
Good evening. I have before you our annual compliance reports. As you know, any company that receives a tax abatement through the city, for the duration of the time of that tax abatement, they are required every year to provide us certain information according to what their abatement is. They need to show us if they have met their investment levels, if they have met their employment numbers, and their wages. So we are beginning that season of doing that, and these are your first 5 that have come before the EDC. The EDC met and reviewed these. They found all 5 of these companies to be in substantial compliance. I will tell you that 4 of the 5 are slightly below employment numbers, which I don't think surprises anyone. All 5 of the companies did report on the efforts and the things that they're doing. They've all worked on wages, worked on company culture, worked on benefits, trying to bring in more employees. They're seeing results. It's just a little bit slower than some of them anticipated, but they are all continuing to move forward, continuing their investments. So they were all found to be in substantial compliance. So I am just requesting tonight that you determine if you agree with that or not.
Yeah, just to echo what Daniel said, we took a look at a lot of the employees, and that was the biggest thing, is they just can't find employees. And they're doing everything that they can to get to that. And a number of them have raised wages $3, $4, $5, $6 an hour. And just to try to get people and retain people and keep people, and I know they're working diligently, all these, we're working diligently to get there. So it's just it's a battle for everybody right now to get people in the door and keep them in the door.
I did notice, though, that some of the wages were up. They
Yeah.
had fewer people, but they upped the
Yeah,
wages pretty
the one
substantially.
company, I don't remember which one was, I think they were up $6, almost $7 an hour, and they still can't find people. And they were up to almost $30 an hour.
Yeah, I think a lot of those too, all of these companies were actually looking for very specific skill sets, which kind of narrows the pool a little bit when you're looking for something like that. So it just so happened that that's what these 5 were looking for. Again, they were very confident that they're going to get there. They're continuing with their investment. They're still very satisfied being here in Franklin and really feel like they're going to be successful. It's just a little bit slower process than we had anticipated.
So Taylor and Ella, you guys want to become welders, it's about $30 an hour. Just saying.
Very little student loan debt. Just might want to throw that in.
Most of them
Ann seconds that motion.
Yeah, really.
I'm sure you do.
All right, so this can be voted on tonight, correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
I'll move to approve the yearly tax abatement compliance reports as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you, Dana.
I just need to have a signature from Mr. Austin.
Under other business, so I would like to, I just want to say, be the first one to say congratulations to our girls' basketball team. It was awesome, and the spirit that it brings to the city, it's unbelievable. I grew up, tell my age here, you guys already know, I'm old, white-headed, but, you know, back in, Bob and I was talking about this today, we went to the state finals in the boys' basketball game whenever I was a sophomore and junior in high school, and I see some of the same excitement is back. And that's what makes our small-town community feel, is stuff like this. And that's Krista and Jess Giles with Discover Downtown Franklin. Just so you guys know, and Ellie, you play basketball. You're on the team, so you guys know, they're working with the downtown businesses to try to get stuff in storefronts and a banner going across, you know, Jefferson Street and stuff like that. So your community is working for you guys, just so you know. So just want to tell you that. Okay, now that I got to say my spiel first, how about start with you, Josh?
No, I have no comments
No
tonight.
comments? Ann?
No comments.
Kenny?
Go Lady Grizzlies.
There you go. Lisa?
Nothing tonight.
Sean?
Nothing tonight, sir.
Bob?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, how about Ella?
Nope.
Okay, all right, so I guess with that being said, we'll make a motion to, somebody make a motion.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all.
I could have bowled tonight.
Yeah, Leanne, the Daily Journal had an